Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Swan Princess franchise. What's this? What are you talking about, Pedro? I mean, wasn't the Swan Princess just an animated hand-drawn trilogy back in the 90s? That's the thing, everybody. According to Sony, because they're the ones who own the franchise at this point, according to, not Fox anymore, according to Sony, apparently the DVDs of the original trilogy kept selling a lot throughout the years. So, this is according to Richard Rich, the creator of the franchise. So Sony decided to bring back not just Richard Rich, but also the original writer of the original trilogy. So this is basically the same creative team returning to make more Swan Princess movies.
It's a family reunion.
Would you
Yay.
believe that there are actually some actors from the original animated trilogy that actually returned for this?
Only one.
Well, yeah, only one, Doug Stone. Still, though, that's quite amazing because
Also,
Doug Stone has done this franchise even still to this year in 2019.
Honestly, the one credit I can't believe is who wrote this film.
Yeah, you're
The same guy who will now be playing Prince Derek from now on, Yuri Lowenfeld.
Let me see if Bryce...
Well, while he checks, yes, audience, I'm also here, what I was in the original trilogy. For if you need a reference, since I watched all of it, the first one is mostly a guilty pleasure because me and my sister used to watch it a lot when we were kids. 2 and 3, I have more scattered memories of it, but not good one. They range from annoying to just plain awful. And the way 3 ends is just depressing in a kind of way. Because, like Bob Shaw said, and pretty much the rest of the internet, Derek essentially resurrect a demons in the shape of that, while the real lad is clearly dead. So I guess from this point on, we're seeing the escapades of Derek just hanging out with the delusion of his love.
A demon played by Laura Bailey.
Yeah.
Yes, Laura Bailey will be our new...
You mean that Jova Odile is the name of Rolf Bart's daughter from the original ballet?
No. John was referring to the term a demon.
Yes, I said a demon. But anyway, basically, folks, a little bit of a recap. Swan Princess is a franchise that refuses to die. The original movie, Disney themselves were gunning for because they released not just any film, but their highest grossing film of all time by that point, Lion King, just to squander that film's hopes. Yet somehow it got 2 animated sequels, one of which got a limited theatrical release. And then the franchise finally died in 1998. Or so we thought. Enter Swan Princess Christmas in 2012. Mind you, the last film was in 1998.
That's also another weird thing. You're reviving a franchise with a Christmas special. Not even just a simple 4 installment, a Christmas special.
Not only that, you'd think that they do what most studios would do and just reboot the franchise, but nope, it's the same characters. They even got a voice actor to come back, same designs and everything.
In that kind of sense, I can believe that. Similar to Tangle, I do see potential for lore expanding for this universe. You know, it's a fantasy kingdom, so you can add all those different races, conflicts and shit like that. The problem is that so far, as far as I saw for the original trilogy, this potential has been squandered, and if I understand correctly the foreshadowing, it's not going to get better.
Well, Tio, let me put it like
this.
Actually, let's get this film started.
Before, just real quick note before I start the countdown. Basically, everybody starting the black, in the black screen before the Stage 6 logo. A little correction from what I said earlier as well. I just checked IMDb. No. Like the web said, Yuri Lowenfeld wrote this one. Brian Nissen, the guy who wrote the original trilogy, because Richard Rich was only the director, only came back for the film after this one. So, a little correction there. All right, so 3, 2, 1, click.
Okay.
I never even knew Yuri Lowenfeld even had a writing career.
Well, let's just say there's a reason why this is his only writing credit.
Oh boy.
Also, it's not too far-fetched. Remember that David Hayter is also a writer.
But writing. Writing.
Oh, it's already called Nest.
Well, that's the thing, Tio. Writing is David Hayter's main profession. Writing is David Hayter. Yeah, that's his main profession. Acting is a thing he does on the side for the most part.
He just happens to be pretty good at
that's
both.
supposed to be Jean-Bob.
Yes.
Yeah, crash animation.
Rendered in
Oh,
3D
man.
now. Okay,
Yeah.
folks. From now on, the Swan Princess movies are in 3D.
So you want to capitalize on a 2D franchise, starting with 3D animation.
Can I just talk about how this
Richard
doesn't
Rich.
make sense here? Like, Swan Princess was a film renowned for its, at the time, 2D animation. So why would you revive it as 3D? Like, especially in 2012, where 2D animated...
Of course, we have to start with the same identical
Yeah.
thing.
Well, Richard Rich actually did specify why in this interview. Let me get it. Oh, and speaking of that, this wonderful CGI animation, everybody, keep in mind, this is direct-to-video CGI animation. So, of course, it looks...
Hello.
How should I put this?
Oh, hey there, Lord Roger.
Also, we forgot to render a background.
No, he's speaking to us, the audience.
True, but can't you add something like, "Oh, he's in the studio"? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you come in. Stuff like that. Go on, Jonah. Oh, Pedro, sorry.
So, we have our new lore bit here from MacGuffin here. The Royal Magical Tree.
Sure, I can believe that.
Now, basically, Tier, you mentioned how part of the problem with the first three films was that there wasn't much reason for, backstory.
They all turn into gingerbread
Well,
men.
I guess we remembered that the old king died.
Yeah.
I guess.
How nice.
Sure.
Yeah, duh.
Okay.
Christmas tree is
There you go.
Christmas.
Oh,
Okay,
Arundel, you're looking a little ugly today.
Yeah.
Whoa! That is my acting.
Okay, here's one
I
thing
guess
this...
annoying song number 1.
That's a thing! This movie tries to take the Aladdin approach with some of its songs, introducing genres that did not exist before. Now, Grant...
Because pop culture references, yeah.
Allow me to remind everybody that this franchise was born inspired by a ballet.
Yeah. Actually, I actually do wonder. Maybe not necessarily for this movie, but do we actually remember about that Crane? I think character that shows up in the third movie and becomes a good guy by the end.
Nope.
Of course.
At least not in this movie. I forget if he comes back in a later one. Hi, Laura
Yes.
Bailey.
Hi, Laura.
Just to elaborate, we're not groaning because oh god no.
No, that's okay.
We
No,
like Laura Bailey.
that's
Oh,
okay. She's not doing these movies anymore nowadays.
This
fortunately.
cat's entire job is to walk back and forth on a bridge. Okay.
Eventually got to a point where anymore.
Oh, God.
Yeah, the
He
way
was
this
literally
cat moves is
sliding
horrible.
on the floor there. That's bad rendering.
I mean, it'd be fine if it were ice, but it's not.
Fun fact: if you go to the Swan Princess official YouTube channel,
Really, a Balto reference, sorta. God, sorry.
kinda. So yeah, if you go into the Swan Princess official YouTube channel, you'll find a Swan Princess live-action remake trailer that's meant to be like a little joke thing. So it's interesting. Could you imagine a live-action remake of the Swan Princess movie, the original?
No.
Sure, why not?
I mean,
Cat
it can't be any
rolls,
worse than how
Jesus.
this one looks.
Christmas has the best holiday music. Okay, guys, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yuri,
Isn't
no.
holiday music meant only for the holidays? That's why it's called holiday music.
I guess...
You see, this is why Yuri Lowenthal doesn't write anymore. See? This is why.
I
There
guess
you go.
they're saying that it's so much better holiday music than Halloween.
That cat has frozen his ass out. Jesus Christ.
Well, hey, Pedro, we can at least be thankful he's a very good Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, yes. Trust me, he's a brilliant voice actor. But as a writer, yeah, you can tell why this is his only writing credit.
My God.
Well, outside of like some
with his CGI. Sorry.
Interestingly enough, he has written some episodes of shows, including an episode of Ben 10 Omniverse.
I'm not familiar with those shows.
Oh no, that's who's voicing Jean Bob here?
Generic guy trying to do a John Cleese impression.
Jesus.
Honestly, I don't think they're even trying to do a John Cleese impression now. It's just sad. Anyway, he's voiced by someone named Clayton James McKay.
I think I heard of him.
Here's the answer to both you and Jova too.
Oh right, I forgot that these two were having a sort of a story arc where they were falling in love.
Let me just link it in case you guys wanna.
Well, glad that this bit of continuity got remembered, I suppose.
Oh yeah, that's one thing about this movie. Surprisingly, it remembers a lot of what happened.
It is a family reunion of sort kind of here, so I guess that should have been, the minimum to expect.
That is one credit, and trust me, this movie needs all the help it can get. That is one credit I'll give to this movie. It is quite possibly quite the nest of fan servers for those
I'm actually curious on another thing, but I'll wait for a bit before asking if it doesn't shut up. But seriously, that's what lovers do constantly, making out in public, showcasing how we love each other.
Okay, it's really nice that you love each other, but other people got stuff to do,
Anyway, Jova, here's the answer for you. Basically, if you go to SwanPrincessSeries.com, which is the Swan Princess fan site, they actually had an interview with Richard Rich, and he explained why. Here he goes. Basically, the man of basically, they got invited to do more Swan Princess movies, and here's his actual thing about it. We had originally thought it would need to be 2D animation, but it was really difficult to find the artists to do that. So we built all the original characters in CGI and showed Sony how we could make them look pretty close to what they look like in 2D. They got very excited and made a transition into the 3D world. So basically, Jova, apparently according to Rich, we couldn't find artists to do the 2D animation.
And to be honest, I guess it could have been even worse, considering the other exposure being Alpha and Omega. I don't know if the quality becomes even worse with each movie, but
spoilers, it does.
Even if it's better than the 2D animated one, at least there's an idea of how making the characters similar to how they appeared. Although Odette's hair changes constantly, and you can see that. And also Derek has got fat cheeks for some reason. Jesus Christ, this poor cat.
Lol.
So is this cat the villain?
This cat is voiced by David Lodge.
So this cat is affiliated with someone.
Okay. Well, the previous villains were all associated with Rothbart, so maybe this is Rothbart's cat or something.
You'll just have to wait and see.
Fun fact, the series recently celebrated its 25th anniversary, and there's been quite a lot of coverage in the media about that, surprisingly.
Well, again, these things supposedly sell as DVDs, so...
No, I mean the 25th anniversary of the first movie, Taylor. They only talk about the first movie.
Oh, jeez.
That's why they released that fake live-action remake trailer as a little treat.
Okay.
Was it any good?
Well, the trailer itself looks fine. It's just that, again, it would be pointless because there's no reason to make a live-action remake of this.
So essentially, this cat has wasted 8 of his lives and he's down to 9.
And apparently he's talking with someone.
By the way, the cat's name is number 9.
Ha.
Get it?
Ha.
Reminds me of that terrible Hanna-Barbera 70s show about that cat who has these previous lives talking to him.
I was going to say Top Cat, but that wasn't Hanna-Barbera, was it?
It is, actually. He's also part in that crossover show that Yogi Bear had.
Basically, Dweebs, Hanna-Barbera had a lot, and I mean a lot, of different properties. I did not need to see that.
Apparently, with each movies, Rothbart X, sidekick becomes less and less old. How?
Is this how all their scenes are going to end, with them snogging?
I guess that's their characters now.
Okay. So at least to Okay, I don't know if Richard Rich was working with Yuri Lowenthal on writing this, whether he just wrote it on his own and Richard Rich directed.
According to IMDb, the only credited writer on IMDb is Yuri Lowenthal.
All right then.
So apparently Yuri Lowenthal thinks that, and I hate criticizing that guy because I like his work, but normally we say don't criticize the voice actors; they're working with what they have. But that's the thing; one of the voice actors is writing it, so it's fair game, in my opinion. It's like when.
Wait, what? Seriously, we're having another plot where Derek gets tricked into doing something he doesn't know.
Not only that, we have the characters pointing it out too.
Remember, Tev, there's one thing we've learned from these movies ever since the first one is that Derek is the most moronic person that has ever been born.
And that's the problem. Odette is not even that much better. This couple is made of dummies.
I'm not quite sure I call Odette dumb as much as I just call her a blank slate that constantly gets into trouble.
Remember, Teo, this is the guy who said to a woman, "Yes, you're beauty. What else is there?"
Yeah, what else is there?
Yeah, well, the first one was about
Derek's best friend.
Yeah, Bromley.
It was also kind of funny, the whole don't criticize the actors. They only act what they have. That was Sonic.
It's not even a matter of this. You see, okay. I'm confident Taylor will back me up on this. I mean, the recent Asterix CGI movies prove that you can take hand-drawn art and translate it faithfully into CGI. The problem
with not much of a budget.
No. Those movies actually have a good enough budget by French movie standards. You just need the good.
Oh wait, hold on.
Oh no.
Okay, let's talk about one of the biggest problems with this movie: the musical numbers.
This is clearly a song made just to be sold as merchandise. Merchandising later.
They're going to imply that they created this genre of music centuries before it existed.
Don't do that.
What kind of shot was that?
I think that orgasm there.
When they were zooming
that was
in,
her face.
when they were doing the zoom in cuts, it was like she's horrified of it. Also, why are the piano colours inverted?
Also, don't you love how pop music existed back then?
No.
Oh, totally.
Word to your mother.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, again, you just need people who are talented, know what they're doing, and good enough money to.
Well,
to
again,
so.
the entire the thing that you mentioned before, the fact that Richard Rich and his team actually struggled to find a 2D animator and had to resort.
Wait, does that woman have 4 arms? Oh, never mind.
No, it was the trick person behind her. No, but the thing that you mentioned about the struggle with 2D and they had to find a 3D animator, then showcase that they did not have a good direction to begin with.
Okay, don't get me wrong. The songs are actually sung well. The problem is that...
Okay, see what I mean? Odette's hair. Sorry, my bad.
The songs are sung well. The problem is that, unlike, say Aladdin, it makes no blipping sense why those styles of music are being sung. Okay, if you have that sort of music being sung, normally it's sung by someone who's not a part of the story. Like, when you hear a pop song and something like this, it's usually sung from the outside around the characters, not by the characters themselves. That said, they're implying that... Oh god, that smile looked horrendous. They're implying that these two doofuses created this genre of music centuries before it's even going to exist. It's complete and utter bonkers.
But see, Java, also what I meant, Odette's hair kept changing size and, fluffiness with each shot. It was super weird.
This is the big problem, Jova. As we're going to find out with each sequel, because trust me, it gets even worse with the following movies. That's the problem. Richard Rich and even Brian Nissen, because remember, Brian Nissen was the writer of the original trilogy, who comes back for the movies after this one. Oh. They themselves don't understand why there was a demand for more.
Yeah,
because it's abundantly clear that they don't. Because if they did, they wouldn't put these songs in here.
Like, okay, for all the problems that Swan Princess had, I can say that it was still a competently made movie. Just one that was essentially Diet Disney in its prime of sorts here and there. Yeah, I can see why it had its fans. When it comes to movies like this, outside of a songs being sung well, and trust me, it hurts to have to admit that, but the songs being sung well, these movies do not really do much to accomplish an audience.
I don't think it hurts to say that something is good.
And
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well,
I mean,
nobody said otherwise.
yeah, I mean, I definitely would...
Joe did.
No, I didn't.
Wait, did Derek just invented snowboarding?
Yes.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
isn't it skiing more accurately?
Well, no, the friend
No,
is
that's
reinventing ski where
snowboarding.
go see.
Oh, sorry, I got the characters mixed up.
Cue the ice cap theme, I guess.
Anyway, Dribs, I didn't say that it's wrong to call it good. What I'm saying is, like, well, I mean, it's like I said, it's like, well, I can see why Swan Princess had a fan audience here and there, but when it comes to the 3D movies, well...
Rich and Rich doesn't understand his audience. That's the basic.
Okay,
gist of it.
if your CG isn't exactly up to snuff, don't go zooming in on it.
Yeah.
It's not even just that, and I'm sure Jova will agree. The Alpha and Omega sequels also prove that he doesn't understand what made the first movie at the very least liked.
Like, okay, at least with Alpha and Omega, he was only the producer of the first one, so I can sort of see why he may have been out of touch. But with this one, he was like, you know, one of the main people in charge with the original trilogy.
He was a director of the original movie, Jova. He directed all of the Swan Princess movies, all of them.
So
he
yeah.
should know.
I get the feeling that he's just, you know, I mean, we've seen so many cases of him doing great stuff in the past, but nowadays doing
when
crap.
he was at Disney, specifically. Anyway, that's the thing, and trust me, everybody. Teo, question.
Yeah.
Are you noticing how, for all of its problems, at the very least, we're focusing on Derek and Odette, the main characters of this franchise?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I hope you're enjoying that, Teo, because starting with the next movie, we're going to start focusing on a new, original little girl character.
Do not steal.
And we're not gonna... And to the point where... To the point, Teo, where this... Okay. To the point here where the total screen time of Derek and Odette in the movie 6 is like 5 minutes.
Wow, seriously?
Yeah. Yes, I'm not kidding.
Is that why Laura Bailey didn't come back?
They made them like, Miss Brisby in Secret of NIMH 2.
Exactly.
Okay, why she didn't come back eventually? Also, for a second I thought that my copy of the movie froze, but no.
That jump defied all laws of physics, but whatever.
Well, it's a cat.
Well, cats can jump pretty far.
Cats can defy laws of physics.
No, it's not the height that I have an issue with. It was the way the jump was animated.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I think I got what Paige was talking about. It was at the angle of which he jumped.
Illusions of wanting to be
it didn't look like he jumped. It looked more like something pushed him upwards.
So I guess instead, in this case, the animal sidekicks are the one relegated to minor screen time, I suppose.
Well, better them than, you know, the actual main characters.
Yeah. No, that's what I asked.
Who the hell dresses in a maid outfit while ice skating unless you're in a show?
Problem. If I recall correctly, Puffin and Jean Bob had their own kind of story arcs in the original trilogy, but the turtle never really had one.
The turtle is just there for a dry sense of humor, really.
No, I know that, but if you remember, one way or the other, they managed to give, Jean Bob and Puffin their own kind of sort of story arc.
Oh my god! They didn't even leave a proper impact in the snow.
It's similar to how the Ice Age sequels find their own way to give other minor story arcs to characters like Diego or Sid that didn't had beforehand. Now, the quality of those story arcs is questionable, but I mean in terms of actually giving to them. But if I recall correctly, the turtle didn't really have one. He just standing there pontificating about the situation.
The turtle, if anything, was more so just the straight man to everyone, and when he made jokes on his own, he was the laid-back, dry sense of humor guy.
Yay, we murdered a tree!
Woo!
Okay.
That was totally necessary. Oh no.
Did he just say, let me guess, he's inventing electricity?
Thomas Edison is rolling
Thomas
in his
Edison,
grave.
you're saying with this guy's Thomas Edison.
Basically, Tail. One thing that's also starting with these CGI movies is that for some reason, Richard Rich thought it would be a good idea to turn Roger into
An inventor.
the Da Vinci of this franchise.
Well,
for
not
some
just
reason.
that.
I can
Again-
potentially see that, but I don't know.
Again, let me remind you, they apparently also imply that
Oh.
they created the new genre music that we heard being sung. So
Oh,
they're implying
you
that
can-
this
you
guy
can chalk
created
up-
not only a genre of music, but electricity.
I guess you can transfer the music to the whole usual. Oh, it's a musical in an animated cartoon. It's like that sequence, but it's out of universe temporarily. What you need to take from it is what the story is actually progressing to. Not
Please,
necessarily
Odette, stop smiling. God.
Can these characters stop? Oh god. Well, remember, Pedro, she's a demon now. She's not Odette.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah, I forgot.
Oh my god, and I'm muting again.
No, Theo, you
don't think
can't
it
get
helps
out
that
of
they
this so
keep-
easily.
It doesn't help that they keep farming out these movies like every year. I mean, since
Theo,
2012.
Theo,
The
we're
cloud-
on, Theo,
the
we're
cloud-
on movie 4. You're not quitting already, are you?
No. I'm just scrolling, the wheel of my mouse until the volume reaches 0% on VLC.
Oh, come on, Theo, that's the coward's way out.
But no, let me instead say this. Actually, I forgot.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie here. Why I said
Oh,
the
yeah,
singing...
that's-
Oh, sorry,
go
go
on.
on.
No,
Why I
no,
said
no,
that
no,
the
go on, I'll
singing
say it.
is good, that doesn't mean all the songs are. Like, the first thing we heard were remixes of typical Christmas Carol classics. Like, they're like the
Oh,
easy
God.
stuff, as long as you get a good
Jesus.
singer. This one has uninspired lyrics, and I completely forget at the moment it's over, but by God, does this song drag.
Wait, Demon Odette, you told me that your kingdom had this orphanage and you didn't care about it until now.
Yep.
Not just that. Not just that, Jova. Like, these. Okay, can you? Okay, did Santa Claus even exist back in this time period? Because they have Santa Claus hats there.
Well, okay, actually, I'm wondering if the Santa Claus hat thing originated from Santa Claus.
Wait. I just realized. Richard Rich
Well.
doesn't care. Why should I? So. Yeah.
Again, Pedro, they're
Oh, apparently, this isn't Laura Bailey doing the singing. It's someone else.
No. Laura Bell doesn't sing the dwebs. It's always someone's doing the singing voice in these movies.
Yeah, fair enough. That kind of thing's
Not just that, like again, I know that those are long videos, but if you can try watching Critical
Those
Role,
teeth are terrible.
you can have a confirmation there that Laura Bailey doesn't sing.
No.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, fair enough. That's something TV tropes calls a non-singing voice, where you have someone else who sounds similar to them doing the singing.
Or then you have a case like Donkey Kong Country cartoons where you get a guy that sounds nothing like DK, but he's amazing at singing.
This reminds me of that interview Kate Winslet had regarding Titanic, and she tried to sing "My Heart Will Go On." Let's just say she's a better actor than she is a singer.
You know what other cartoon did the whole singing voice not sounding like their speaking voice, but they play it up for laughs and they lean into it? Recess.
Oh wait, hold on, guys. We have our
It has been
dilemma.
stolen.
What? How could this be?
Derek, this is not a situation to smile.
Well, it's not even just that too. You're talking to mention about being put on a. That's the thing. I still argue about when it comes to not sounding like the original actors too. That's the thing. I still argue that Laura Bailey is horribly miscast as Odette because she sounds nothing like the original actress. Okay, the original actress didn't come back for even the 2 and 3, but the actress they got to replace her did do a good enough job of imitating the original performance.
You mean saying Odette?
Yeah, Laura Bailey is not even trying to imitate because
Actually, Michelle Nicastro did do the original trilogy.
Oh, does she? Okay, never mind then. In that case, okay.
Oh wait, what's this?
Derek.
He's obviously not hiding in there, Derek.
Also, please don't tell me that the dark hearts are back. Yeah, it's empty. What the fuck were you expecting?
Actually, that is a good segue, Dwibs.
Remember, the Dark Arts were destroyed at the end of the third movie.
Yeah.
Well, Tail, there is still technically an old demon remain as the remainder of those.
Oh, what? She's a Horcrux.
Well done. So there you go, Tail. For this Christmas special, we're going to bring back Rothbard, specifically his
Wait,
ghost.
seriously?
Okay.
Okay, it's his ghost, but otherwise he exploded.
Okay, Tio. You remember how you said how the problem with the lore is that we don't really get to explore much? Okay, let's do a recap. For the first movie, it's about Rothbard and the Forbidden Arts. The second movie was about Rothbard's partner, who was going after one half of the Forbidden Arts, the half that...
Forbidden Arts.
Yeah. The half that's all about creation. Of course, it involved taking an orb that ended up exploding his base. The third movie was about another partner of Rothbard's, Zelda, who was originally going to be his queen, got rejected and all that la-di-da-di-da. She was after the Forbidden Arts. This time, the half that's all about destroy. So, of course, in order to diversify things, let's have the villain be Rothbard.
Not just that, they turned him into an idiot.
Oh, trust me too. Wait till you see what exactly is the thing that's stopping him from conquering the world.
Like,
and what will bring him back.
Robert was not the most super developed villain in the history of animation, but he was still competent in Konami. Yes, he had a sense of humor.
Wait, hold on,
he had
his
that whole
weakness.
stupid musical.
Basically, he can be brought back by destroying Christmas.
So this is like that magic of the Grinch, I guess. But
so...
again, he had that stupid musical number, but they could believe him as a genuine threat, and even his transformation as the great animal was, the powering up that he needed. I guess now instead he's just a buffoon.
Oh, no. Okay, to be fair, let me finish. To be fair, he is technically still the big threat villain of this. It's more so that he needs the help of a cat to bring back his essence.
Yes, baby.
So if we go by the logic of this movie, what happens next? If we destroy Easter, we're gonna bring back
Zelda.
Yeah,
Why
Zelda.
Zelda. What? Wait. Princess Zelda's the bad guy all along?
Well, she was
Also-
in the third movie. Oh wait, what's
Rothbard
this?
is using his teleportation to be a D cliche. Oh, an aggression spell. Who's voicing the Queen? I think I recognize her.
Well,
That's Suzanne Blakesley, isn't she?
Yeah. That's again. I'll give credit. The actors playing the Queen and Roger do a good job imitating the original performances.
Yeah, what's up with Laura Bailey's performance in this movie?
Actually, Jova goes back to that interview I mentioned. Basically, in the fan side interview, Richard Rich specifically says, and I'm quoting here, "The death of Michelle Nicastro was a real shock, and it happened when we were just starting to do Swan 4, aka this movie. So originally, Michelle was going to return for this movie. Yeah, it was ever intention. She was going to come in. However, she had been very ill and very sick. When the time came in to record, she called and said that she couldn't do it, and then she died 3 days later. So Laura was brought in as a replacement. So, which again demonstrates that she shouldn't have been.
I think I actually know what happened. Yuri was like, okay, let me call your friend just to fix this whole thing.
So why did she come back for the sequels then?
I guess
Because
I don't know.
contracts.
Must have been one hell of a contract for a last-minute actress to sign.
Derek,
But yeah.
you're having struggles chasing a fucking cat.
Well, that's the thing, Joe. But this was back in 2012. Back then, Laura Bailey did not have the. Right now, she's in mostly AAA games. Now she has a much higher salary that needs to in order to hire her. But back then, she was more affordable.
Remember,
This was at this point she was still showing up in Tales of games and stuff like that. So.
Oh, no, the effect.
Yes, my master plan to trap him using a cat worked.
I
I
saw
thought that silhouette was.
exploding.
Sorry, I thought that silhouette was Mysterio for a second.
Oh no, Christmas bells,
wait.
my weakness.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was the sound wave, like the Venom symbiote.
No, basically, Tio, Christmas bells are part of his weakness as a ghost.
That's so stupid.
So it's not so much that they made Rothbard an idiot, he's just a villain with incredibly idiotic weaknesses.
So what are we gonna? So what do we have to do? whenever he comes up, just shout ho 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 at him.
I swear, if the way he actually gets defeated, if it's Odette and Derek kissing under the mistletoe, I'm gonna quit.
Maybe that box with an R on it may be a bad thing.
Zool, motherfucker, Zool! Guess who's back? Back again.
Jova, at this point, expecting Derek to act like a rational human being is just, it's a lost cause.
How are these kingdoms
Which is
still
bizarre,
functioning?
because that's the most bizarre thing, Pedro. The guy who voices him wrote this.
Well, Dwebs, to be fair, Yuri is just staying faithful to the original characterization, because Brian Nason always wrote Derek as a complete moron.
Okay.
Yeah, in that case, you could chalk it up to Yuri not bothering too much and just sticking to the basics.
To be fair, Dwebs, we've established this character to be a moron for movie 1, therefore we should remain consistent to it.
I think the weird thing is that while he was kind of a moron, he could be competent at, hunting and stuff like that, but now they made him ineffective at that too.
Well, to be fair, Jova, we had that beginning sequence where he effectively manages to throw the bolas at the snow tiger.
True, yeah, but
let's
not forget though, Tia, he had trouble hunting down a freaking cat.
Yeah, that too.
And let's not forget how in the third movie, despite Odette constantly telling him, please destroy the Forbidden Arts, and he just wouldn't because...
How about they do anyway?
Oh, this cat can write.
Actually, I wonder who's voicing Rodbard in this movie. I'm pretty sure the original voice actor did not come back.
You mentioned, it's funny, you mentioned Laura Bailey. I mean, she's not been averse to reprising her roles in other projects. I mean, recently she's doing the new Fruits Basket show, playing the main role again.
Anyway, Tio, fun fact for you.
The reason why she dropped out of so many roles like Lucina or Chun-Li is because of a voice actor strike. Basically, she rescinded a lot of contracts after that.
Basically, Tio, fun fact. This is Sean Wright. Sean Wright also voiced Rothbard back in the third movie.
Oh, for that cameo thingy, yeah.
Flashback-wise. So, yeah, they got him back 14 years later to do this role. I guess he's the other actor returning, aside from Doug Stone. Oh, wait, hold on.
Okay.
And also Joseph Medrano, the guy who voices Gord Rogers ever since the second movie.
Oh.
And still is.
Alright.
Also, I gotta love that they're using the excuse of the fact that Robert's a ghost by having
this is our villain, ladies and gentlemen.
A powerful sorcerer who could mutate into any animal is reduced to a stumbling ectoplasm. Also, Shiroi.
Well, okay. Gotta give...
I think she's muted.
Okay.
No, wait.
Okay,
Just check, just to be sure, Valentine is not possessed by a demonic spirit, right? I know that she's a cat, so probably it comes with a territory.
I was about to say they're void creatures. I'm not sure what you're not.
Anyway, gotta give Prince Derek credit. He actually did the smart thing and had the entire castle rigged with bells. I mean, yeah, it's silly, but better safe than sorry.
I will say, gotta love how the animators use the excuse that Robert's a ghost in order to animate it in ways that defy the actual boundaries of the movie without having to, put too much effort. Like, yeah, that walking animation like that.
Time for another pop song.
We're only third. Well, okay, we're close to the halfway point. Also, if I recall correctly, the turtle hasn't said a single word since the start of the movie.
Oh, no. He said a few things here and there.
Too cute. Roger, you're the guy who dressed up an entire orchestra as animals for target practice.
Yeah.
Oh, that mouth.
That rear.
Oh yeah, this is another thing too. We're also continuing that thing with Roger having the hots for Roberta.
Wait.
Well, sure, why not?
Hold on. He had the hots for Zelda in the third film.
No, but remember, Jova, there was also...
Starting with the second movie, we started to have these sort of, flirting between the two.
That. I
It was a
believe
love
that
triangle, remember?
I believe that comes to a head in Royally Undercover.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Were there popcorn back in this time period?
Oh my...
I don't know. I mean, ideally, popcorn can be
Okay,
made even with the
hold on,
most
sorry,
basic tools.
Sorry, I forgot. I'm trying to think this through more than Richard again, aren't I? Okay, never
So
mind.
apparently you
Like-
also invented gospel music ahead of its time. Sure, why
Praise
not?
be.
I'm very confused by this movie.
Shiroi, don't worry. Everybody
Hey.
is.
I get the feeling that even the
What does
makers of this film were confused about this
What
movie.
does
Again,
it want to be exactly?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Shiroi. It wants to be a Christmas
Oh.
special, but the problem is that Christmas specials are made with the idea of having, like, say, a recurring series. That's why they're called specials.
And those women are French kissing a pelican for some reason.
Instead, this is what the fuck?
I don't know. Just
Oh, it's the
spontaneous
aggression spell.
bestiality.
Again, this instead
Okay.
is the
Hold on, Theo,
zebra.
Oh God, I did not need to see that zebra in that pose.
Let's just say, Theo, Disney might sue this movie at one point if they realize it exists. Let's just say, hold on.
Oh no,
Hold on.
Spirit is a
Wait for
horse.
it.
Is a-
Wait for it.
Oh no.
Lightsabers.
Really?
Okay.
Oh no.
Well,
Did
it's
Sony desperately want the rights to Star Wars?
This
Dude,
will
who
be
didn't
another-
want the
this will
rights to
be
Star
another place in a
Wars?
Family Guy cutaway gag.
No,
And,
guys, I got it. While Yuri was writing the script, he had Star Wars on in the
wow.
background.
That happened.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, Whips. Yuri, I have a question.
Ah,
Where's the
demon
sto-
face! Jesus Christ!
Odette, I've told you, please stop smiling.
Don't
Also,
try to
Mom
eat
Pedro,
the children.
she's wearing red. She's now showing her true colors.
Anyway, you
I
were
guess.
saying, Pedro?
Okay, this brings up a good point, though. Yuri, I have a question. Where's the story? Because, I have yet to see a story. Yeah, I know, we have Rothbard returning, but he has done nothing whatsoever.
Again, this would be much more effective if this was indeed the Christmas special to a more longer existing series. Instead, it's supposed also to be the revival of a series. I could have seen potentially this as like the fifth or the sixth movie, quote unquote. But otherwise, this is damaging the product because of the Christmas special nature. I honestly do wonder if Sony considered actually instead of making a series instead of a set of movies.
Not just that, you'd consider this was the first. Yeah. Consider this is the first Swan Princess movie in years. You'd think they would make it newcomer friendly, but no. Like they just Rothbard suddenly shows up, and we're supposed to know who he is.
Not just that, there's barely this is kind of the movie that will benefit from an exposition dump narration at the beginning, but there's barely one. I'll punch you straight in the gabber.
Did you suddenly start rewriting the movie in Yuri's absence?
That's also another thing.
Yes.
That's also another thing.
You see,
Rothbard-
he was too.
Sorry, go on.
He,
Go on.
you see, he was too distracted by watching Star Wars, so I had to type in some bits himself because he was running behind schedule.
Okay, Dweebs, you could have given
JK.
Rothbard's ghost another weapon instead of just a simple aggression spell. I mean,
Well, you
casting
see-
fireballs and all.
Well, you see, guys, I had to deliver the script to Richard Rich in 2 hours, so that's all I had time to do.
Oh, God,
So was this
another
dance
one.
number your idea
With
too,
the orphans.
Glibs?
Please.
Joe, what are you talking about? If I wrote this, there wouldn't be any musical numbers.
Sorry, but you're the writer, but you're still bound by the rules of the franchise.
Oh no!
Yeah, hey,
he's
that'd be,
become more
yeah,
He's become powerful enough to destroy a Christmas wreath.
You know what
Hey,
this
that'd be-
reminds
that'd
me?
be
That
interesting.
sorry, go on.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. As unlikely as it is, what would we do if one of us wrote a script and it somehow got made into a movie? How would we commentate on that impartially?
Yes, commentate on it.
Libs, I'm when it comes to I'm not stranger to producing pieces of media on the internet. I sometimes fan fiction, so I'm the first to actually expect actual criticism for how I write.
Same.
But no, what I was saying, the Rodbert Ghost is like the villain from the Howard the Duck movie, where he started becoming powerful by making Tabasco sauce bottles explode, and he says, "My powers are growing."
Yeah, this is another thing too. Uberta gets more and more insane as the movies go on.
Okay.
Well, she was
To her
already very
credit-
annoying in the second
both
movie.
of them, both these two get more and more insane.
Okay.
Again, she was already very annoying in the second movie, so I'm not too surprised.
Okay, to their credit, in this movie, they're being affected by Rothbart's spell.
Yeah. And they died.
That's the thing, Jova. If that argument showed up in the following movies, it wouldn't even feel out of place.
Wait,
That's
don't you
the
see?
problem.
Wait, don't you see, Pedro? We
The
never
spell
do.
never got dispelled.
Yeah, we never do see the spell get dispelled by the end of the film. So for all we know, that's the effect of the spell.
I seriously doubt Rich would pay that much attention to continuity.
Hey, I'm a better writer than him, so there you go.
Head canon.
Sure, that coincides with my point, so.
Well, technically, Richard Rich didn't write this movie.
I'm a better
Also,
writer
why
than Yuri
not-
Lowenfeld.
Also, why does Odette's hair color look different when she's outside?
Not
Again,
only
John
that, but
Pedro,
can I
it's
talk
not
about?
the color, it's the shape. Like I kept mentioning, her hair changes from shot to shot. Sir Peter.
There's a.
Yeah, it's an angel statue. I think I understand now why Laura Bailey was asked as a replacement, not just because of Laura Bailey, someone was called as a replacement. Odette, rolled aside, Odette is barely any speaking lines in this movie.
Oh, don't worry, Teal. Odette will get
Derek
much
is feeling
more.
the focus.
Don't worry, Teal. Odette's gonna get a much bigger role come the second half of this movie.
Great.
Also, Laura Bailey's being paid by each word, so obviously they can't use her much.
I wish each of those words were one of the insults as Kaine.
Yeah.
Were there any what other big games that Laura Bailey was in also came out in 2012?
The 13 trilogy.
Tales of Grace's F.
I'm pretty sure there was. I think one of the editions of Street Fighter 4, I think. So Chun-Li. Fire Emblem Awakening wasn't too far from there, I think.
Oh, there was also a Miracle Mask, Dips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Or probably. Okay. Also, since when Bromley was a blacksmith, I forgot about that.
I would love so much if someone in one of the many interviews Yuri gives in various anime cons, if someone would ask him, Yuri, could you ask me what the hell were you thinking when you thought of that Star Wars joke in Swan Princess Christmas?
And he'd say, my inspiration was drugs. I mean, that scene is in there so sporadically that it really does feel like an acid trip out of nowhere.
I'm actually crossing my fingers and hoping that him having Star Wars in the background is true.
Cute.
I love this upcoming line from Bridget.
Oh my god, her hair literally did the
She
springy
became
thing.
Cowboy Mommy for a second.
Well, why are you dodging? You're a ghost.
Throw the cat.
That poor cat.
No, throw it, yeet him.
Yeet.
Yeah, I
he's
know.
turned
The
into-
Leia look really
Oh,
suits
Listen
you.
here. Hold on. Listen here. Weird choice of words.
The cat just died there.
Joa, bow out into a meme.
I altered the deal. Private will alter it again.
Any further?
Again, Star Wars.
My bad.
Oh!
Ooh, she probably just, she squished the cat.
It's okay, he's still alive. Somehow.
Cartoon logic. How did he lose these 8 lives anyway?
Good question.
He just did.
You. I am so stereotypical. Shira, you're the tea expert. What are the best ones when you have a low voice?
Honey and ginger.
Okay, I actually noted that the cold is rampant here. It might happen.
Lemon's another good one.
Where's the movie's energy? Like, seriously.
It doesn't seem to even have the Hollywood movement meme, the fact that everything has to keep in movement for the entertainment of the children. No. This thing tries to take itself seriously with the pacing.
Like, it's not even that, too. It's not so much a matter of pacing. It's more so that there's nothing interesting happening. It's just characters bumbling around and bickering.
Yeah, this is pretty much a fan fiction when you get down to it.
Even when Rothbard comes into the picture, he doesn't really do much. He's just
he's just a bumbling buffoon again.
See, there you go. That's what the special is. It's just people bickering.
How
It's like-
fun.
It's like Naoko Mizuno wrote this.
Or, I forgot who wrote Iron Man 2?
Justin Farrow.
There you go.
Again, like I said to you.
Shut up for that. Come back when you actually are a character.
I still refuse to believe that film was actually written.
Well, like I said, there is because it was mostly improv, you mean?
Yeah, and unlike Iron Man 1, it turned out badly.
Yeah. Well, I guess the bickering there was more genuine in that kind of sense.
Well, like I said too, both for Sarah and for Odette, they're hoping that Laura Bailey's wonderful work will be enough to distract from the fact that the characters don't have personalities.
Never mind the fact, not even the personality, never mind the fact that both here and Sarah barely had any screen time in their original appearances. Well, I mean, this case. 13-2, yeah, Sarah is one of the, technically speaking, one of the main protagonists, so of course she had a bit more screen time, but you know what I mean.
So, speaking of characters regressing, Bridget's working with Rothbard again.
Wait, seriously?
How many more times is she gonna flip-flop between allegiances?
And
Remember,
why?
she did this in movie 2, was it? Or was it 3?
No, starting by the end of 1 already, she had become a good guy, quote unquote.
No, I know that too. She becomes good at the end of the first movie.
No,
But then
in the second, she actively helps so that with something that she remembers learning from Rothbard.
I just remember. Yeah, it was movie 2 that she went back into that her old outfit.
Oh, that was just her switching outfits for...
Morality-wise, she was still good by then.
I have no idea why she switched outfits. I guess because that one was better to run in. I'm guessing that was just because that one was better to run in for the chase scene, where they literally sing "No Fear" for some reason.
For no reason, like Spear.
I'm guessing Bridget has decided to become a dragoon. I don't know.
Again.
Not
Poop jokes.
Joy.
number 9. Do you actually have something to contribute to this movie, or are you
He's
just
a
gonna
cat.
stay?
Probably not.
So there you go, Teo. This is our plan. Take away all the Christmas decorations.
I
This is
mean-
Wait, no
dude.
one absolutely. Where are the fucking guards in this town, in this castle?
They're on break, I guess.
Honestly, again, watching this made me realize how much care was put in the Tangled show for every minor detail. Jesus.
yeah. Oh, that's like the polar opposite of this, Teo. The Tangled show, as far as I'm concerned, actually surpassed the movie by this point.
Well, not even that. It's basically overkill in that kind of sense. Every single complaint they addressed for this movie so far, that has been answered, and even more, just in the first couple of episodes of that. I forgot the cat on the stew. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh god, we still got half an hour.
Well, it could be worse.
So Dwibs, I'm guessing this is your first experience of his writing. So, what's your take on Yuri's writing so far?
What do you-
I am. He is one hell of a voice actor, is what I'll say.
Exactly. Yuri, stick to voice acting. That's what you're good at.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not. You're not. Who's the
leave,
thing-
leave writing to actual writers, okay? Yuri?
or even better, I was
Was
trying to
he
think of an
also-
example. Who's a famous actor who went on to be a good writer?
Plenty actually. Orson Welles.
Yeah, go with that.
I was gonna mention Shane Black, but he's not a good writer, so
Tio, he can't hold the Predator and say he's a crap writer because of that.
no, Dibs, I'm talking also about Iron Man 3.
I liked Iron Man.
Oh,
3.
he wrote that?
Yeah.
Well, he co-wrote it.
I mean, yeah, I see where Tio's coming from. Iron Man 3 isn't the worst, but it has a lot of
Well,
problems.
all in due time, anyway.
I liked
No,
it too.
what I was saying is, what I was asking instead is Yuri Lowenthal also the director, the voice director?
I don't know.
Oh god, demon
let me
face.
check. Odette, I've told you 1,000 times. Stop smiling.
I mean,
Just smile!
it's not
See,
even.
that's the thing.
No,
I think
no,
the thing
no.
is, like,
Don't-
it's not even every time she smiles. It's when she smiles with that deliberately evil look, like she's a
Also-
demon who wants to eat kids.
Got a lot of objects do not have any weight because it's supposed to be a piece of ham and it's very heavy, but the characters are walking around like it's a plastic
Joe.
ball.
That's the thing. The characters don't even look all that terrible. It's just, could she not smile, please? At all?
Again, this feels a lot like Naoko Mizuno wrote this. It's just bickering. Why is this appealing? Why?
It's
Well,
not.
okay, it's a part of shipping these two. The problem is that they're affected by Rothbard's spell, so it's it. Wait, why can't you just knock on
Pedro
the
is
door?
questioning what make people like the idea of bickering in storytelling.
Yeah,
Because it's not even just that. It's not even just this or compile hard games. It's the basics for pretty much every sitcom ever.
Not just that, Jova. Even before Rothbard came into the picture, they were already bickering about stuff.
Well, they weren't.
Oh, we
Oh.
made up.
That was easy.
Ah.
You were saying.
I don't even. It's just like.
Oh,
Oh no, there's peace and goodwill in the air.
how do you don't do
Yuri
your
allow me to remind you guys. Yuri Lowenthal actually wrote in the script, Rothbard's powers get stopped by the power of Christmas. He wrote this, and he thought to himself, "Yep, this is what I'm gonna put in the movie."
Very true, I say.
So what are you guys, like
Merry
the boy?
Christmas, old chap.
What are you guys, like the boy band of your time?
I don't even know at this point. I'll be right back.
You know, they didn't even really show how people were all of a sudden becoming good. Was it like, what, the spell wears off or something? Or did people naturally get good again? Again, we never even see if the spell wore off. For all we know, people just mended their relationships, whatever, willy-nilly.
To follow up on what you're saying, Teo, that's the thing, Teo. If there's two specific things...
Oh my
life-
god. There you go, guys.
God.
Lowenfeld literally wrote, "Look what Christmas is doing to me."
I don't think even a 5-year-old could take this seriously.
Here's the problem, though. I mean,
Oh,
the
no.
actual plot is barely present. Most of this is literally just the X Factor.
Yeah.
Really?
You
That's
were
the
saying,
thing, too.
Pedro?
That's the thing too. If there's two specific things that I will never understand the appeal of in writing is bickering and characters always acting completely uninterested in everything that's going on, aka Lightning in Lightning Returns. Because again, if the characters don't care about the story they're in, why should I?
Wait, is Sean Bob singing Gloria in Excelsis Deo?
Sure, why
Oh
not?
my-
Let's add that. Why don't you just sing every Christmas song in the book while you're at it?
That's the thing. Like the Gloria is an actual religious song tied to Christmas, not
Well,
just a generic
yeah.
Christmas song.
Well, yeah, Tio, they've been doing a lot of religious songs in this movie.
So
Well, Christmas is derived from
Yeah, no.
Christianity, so.
Well, true, but in Hollywood standards, we try to sanitize it, quote unquote, unless it's very specific. You know.
Usually
Maybe
Christmas...
since
Okay. Usually Christmas gets a pass with sanitizing stuff religiously more often than not, since, the lyrics are just
It
that
really
iconic.
depends, but
Honestly,
Oh.
most movies I've seen don't really try and do the
Uh,
whole sanitization thing with the lyrics, because the lyrics are just too iconic.
well, I don't mean in terms of lyrics, but in terms of using the type of songs to use.
Oh, well, even that, more often than not, I've never really seen them try and sanitize it that often.
Like, for example, Beauty and the Beast, Magical Christmas, I don't think uses a religious song for the Christmas festivity.
Well, that's Beauty and the Beast, the magical
Well,
Christmas
that's
thing.
just one example that I made. There's
Okay,
also,
fair
like,
point.
the Flintstones Christmas special, I don't know, where they
Let me
do
see if I can
Christmas
think
Carol
of,
parody.
A recent example, like. Mm.
Oh, no.
No, I don't think I can actually. Not in recent times, anyway.
Boop.
A light bulb.
I guess you're gonna light it on your own like Uncle Fester. It's not Voldemort.
Yeah. The what?
This is a Ghost Part 2.
Yeah.
Wait,
I-
seriously? You're taking... What is he doing with the light bulb? Infusing it with dark magic?
You'll see.
Shiroi, would you mind answering that?
No, there you go, just one.
So, what madness have I missed?
Dribs, I have a question for you.
Yes?
How many cats does it take to screw in a light bulb?
None, because they can't.
According to this
Apparently
movie,
this
just
one
one.
can. And apparently this is infused to the point where you're gonna lie down, he's gonna become real.
Now, here's my question. How exactly...
Where did they get that from, though?
Yeah, here's a good question. So, Lord Rogers apparently created electricity. How does that electricity even work in this universe? Like, it's not like they have a light switch to turn it on with. You kind of need that.
Hey, Jover, it's magic, don't you know?
No,
We don't
it's
have
not
to explain
magic. It's literally electricity.
And the weirdest thing is that Rodbar just combined the two, creating Magitech of all things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should have said, I got Final Fantasy copy my... Oh, wait, no, it didn't.
Get it? He doesn't remember her name, well, because he didn't respect
To be honest,
her.
after if I had a year, did all those years gap between movies, I would probably forget too.
True.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little tongue-in-cheek joke.
Yuri, for the love of all that is holy,
Oh,
never write a
what's this
script ever
scene?
again.
Again, Pedro, he wrote an episode of Ben 10 Omniverse
But was that after or before this?
after.
Dead.
Well, regardless, don't stop
Oh
writing.
wow,
Yuri.
that was actually effective.
So, yeah, it turns out Bridget was actually playing Rothbart like a 2-bit fiddle this entire time.
What is this? Fucking Metal Gear Ghost Fable?
I mean, okay, I'll give them credit. I guess they don't have Bridget just be dumb, and, well, I guess that was sort of in her character. She was someone who everyone thought was dumb because she talks funny, but in reality, she's quite possibly the smartest person in the room. So, there you go. Rothbart just got played hard. How is her voice echoing without a microphone? Why does her voice sound like it's echoing
I
with a
guess the
microphone?
acoustic
Did she,
alone, potentially.
Did she cast the Harry Potter spell on her
Jova,
throat that made her
Jova, if Richard doesn't care, why should we?
Also, I gotta love how they transitioned from that orchestra. We clearly focused on the orchestra shot. That when they started with the pop song, but as an orchestral, itis instruments into it.
Can we just please stop
Oh
it?
god.
We're about to have a fucking marathon of songs.
Also, I will say this: I find it amazing how the movie is almost over, technically 20 minutes left. This is the climax. And they did one thing they didn't recycle from the previous movies is that Odette hasn't turned into a swan.
That's a faint tale. By this point, they ran out of excuses to turn her into a swan.
About fucking time, if you ask me. That was a joke.
Again, the singing isn't bad, but it just
Out of
doesn't work in
place.
the context. I can't believe I'm saying this. This is a movie I would actually like the soundtrack to, but by God, the movie it's attached to is pretty bad.
Is it on Spotify, actually? I forgot to ask.
I don't know. You know, maybe that's why. You know, maybe that's why this movie apparently did so well. Apparently, probably because of the music, if anything.
Yeah. Well, Puffy doesn't even know how to facepalm properly. What are you doing?
Basically, Odette and Derek are searching for the cat.
This is the weirdest
Seriously?
interpretation.
And now we're just
No.
spouting references, I see.
Because kids will certainly know reference to Caligula.
Okay, I can imagine how it went. Yuri changed of plan. We need the script in 6 hours. But I haven't gotten halfway through the story yet. Just 6 hours.
Oh, hey, look, this is the
Oh,
perfect
no,
follow-up to the
TBT.
small one.
Oh my god, it really is.
By the way, those are
Oh.
totally tiny little preteen children singing like that. Totally.
Totally. But, wow. Way to make a bold statement, Richard Rich, I guess.
Well, Sony is the same movie that would make The Star.
Even
in
the
case
Three
you guys
Wise
don't-
Men equivalent.
Alright, in case you guys are confused, Stage 9 is basically Sony's really, 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 really small.
Isn't this stage
division.
6, well?
Stage 6. It's the extremely minor division. It's not like TriStar where
Yeah, I can
it's
see that.
just the minor studio. This is the extremely minor studio, the ones that just release these kinds of movies.
So Yuri Lenfo literally wrote that they would use John Bob as a jackhammer, and that works.
Remember in the first movie they managed to dig very easily under the moat with the tower? Yeah.
Maybe the tower got better security.
I don't know. Okay, did seriously no one see watching the cat? Hang on.
Top the countdown.
Oh, it's the New Year's coming. 4, 3.
Also, how does that switch even work? It's not connected by wires or anything, and I refuse to
Yeah,
believe that
we're
it's
not
remote
doing-
control.
Yeah. Kill it.
Oh no, this is making Rothbard all the more powerful!
Oh, he's regenerating.
And now he's back to life!
Of course, even though he fucking exploded. How do you get a physical body if you exploded?
Tio, the afterlife works mysteriously. You see, the way the afterlife works is that if you destroy Christmas, you
no,
come back
okay,
to
okay.
life.
This I actually have to see. Okay, Rodvar, you're back in your physical form and in your prime. So are you gonna turn again into the great animal and wreak havoc?
Oh, Tio, just wait and watch. You're in for a madhouse. Believe it or not, the real insanity has not begun yet.
But we're on like 20 minutes, like 15, not counting away the credits. What's gonna happen?
You do realize we haven't had our climax yet. Gotta save
Well,
the
I
big
thought
guns
this
for
was
that.
supposed to be.
Boo!
Let me guess, you're gonna have a musical number about how you evil.
Well, Tio, we did just have a marathon of songs.
I mean, we're on a stage, literally. Great job, Derek.
I tried.
You can't even toss your sword.
We can't afford that.
Wait, you're still caring about that?
Oh, look, he's got his old crown back now.
So, well, I guess he still has his priorities, I suppose.
You still have from Lion King, by the way, but whatever.
That too. That's not funny.
Too bad, Theo. Yuri thinks it is.
There's also this, I appreciated the fact that he brought back this voice actor from the Swan Princess
Oh,
Brave
no,
for consistency's sake. But this guy, for this kind of sequence, you expect Robert to go full ham mode, but instead he's so subdued that it's making the scene so boring. This should be the moment where he gloats the most, where he's going super all out, but instead he's just, no.
Oh no,
Oh, so he
Odette's been
transforms, eh?
kidnapped again.
She's a demon, who cares?
Well, that's the thing. She's the demon who he can steal to. Actually, yeah, I don't get why he wants to at this point.
I guess she like Peter was mentioned before, she's what remains of the Forbidden Arts.
Yeah.
Even... Oh, but don't you see, he's more powerful than ever now. That's right, dying and coming back by destroying
let's use
Christmas.
that phrase from the Predator, as we mentioned before. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Okay, Tio, are you ready for some fan service? Because this movie's about to hit you with a truckload.
Though in the instance last
Too bad.
10 minutes.
Too bad by this point the audience is so bored to tears that they'll just not even care.
Get it?
Jesus,
He's super
that's
fast
speed.
on the ice.
I'm bored, but I'm not crying yet.
Not crying until the end.
I will not give up.
So...
A commentator doesn't cry until it's all over.
Wow, the sound effect for those puffs wasn't even in sync with
Horrible.
the actual puffs.
Yeah.
There you go, incompetent sound mixing at its finest.
There we
I think some
go.
of the actual dialogue is out of sync with the voices, or at least the lip movements or shit.
Oh my god! You did not create Gothic chic, you hack!
Oh, yeah, I
Retro.
forgot,
Oh,
this is,
they literally said we're going retro. Basically, that's a throwback to how his writer
There you
did.
go,
And
Teo.
speaking of going
They
retro...
found an excuse to turn it into a swan.
Just because
can't
Rothbard.
believe- I can't
Oh
believe
boy,
this.
here we go again.
4 movies in a row. 4 fucking movies
No,
in a
well,
row,
Teo,
you
if
hacks.
Well, Teo, if it makes you feel any better,
Oh
this
my
is the
god,
last
even
one.
I love how even the characters comment on it.
There's nothing nostalgic about this.
Oh no. Ah, okay, I
If-
thought they were tentacles.
Again, we can at least thank Stalin into knowing that this is the last time she'll be turned to a swan, at least.
Wow.
Laura doesn't
Look.
care at all.
Although she seems to be casted better as the swan than as the human.
Yeah, she
You
seems to
will not
emote better as a swan.
You will not succeed, Rothbart. You will not. Like, well, to be fair, Laura's considering the script Laura was given. Can you blame her for being unenthused?
Yeah, I think she was emoting better as Sarah in 32.
Yay! Oh, sorry, I'm
fuck.
supposed to not like that.
I will wear him around my neck.
Bling bling.
Oh, I remember, Drips, another example of what you were asking earlier about good actors who become good writers. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who is the movie that he wrote and directed, Don John. I really like that movie a lot. So.
Oh, wait, this bit.
Because why don't you just do that from the beginning?
Because he wants her to suffer the anticipation of turning into a Christmas ornament. He's that evil.
That's a decoy.
Fooled you.
No, Bola's my only weakness.
And
there
here
it
we
is,
go.
The great animal. Finally.
Fan service to the nth degree.
Woo.
Wait, what's that? Firework?
Firecracker? I don't know.
I don't remember any scene before establishing that Derek had a firecracker was good with them.
Ugh, and I paid £5 for this movie.
Rejoice in the fact that now it's all yours forever, Dweebs.
Because that's how your UK storefront works.
Another fan
mean,
service,
we
the great I'm
can-
actually carrying
We
everybody's
can
feet.
rent most movies, it's just not this one.
So yes, are you ready for the epic climax?
No.
Seriously?
That supposedly would have worked.
Thank you.
What
Oh,
is
God,
even this
that-
background
It's
thing? Anime.
lines. Wait, seriously? That's how he's defeated?
Nope.
Wait, you could just swim through that little gap the whole time.
Okay, how many times is Derek being thrown away like a puppet?
Well, snap. Derek's down for the count.
Oh, one. Oh yeah, we like that.
Okay,
Are you kidding
Tio. What?
Singing him awake.
I'll tell you what,
She is about to destroy him with the power of song.
At
You
least she's
gotta
not crying.
be fucking kidding me. Can I remind, just for the reference of the audience and all, just for a reminder, how iconic, sort of, for this series, how iconic is the defeat of a great anime in the first movie. It incorporates everything, pretty much, from them. Derek's bravery, the best friend's cowardice, the tactic they use with the arrow, everything is in place for that. Functionally, it works. And we have this.
He's literally trying to...
I don't know who's to blame for this, if Rich or Yuri Lowenthal, but... And that's it. That's
So she
fucking
sang
it.
someone back to life and someone to death.
And
No, remember, Chioi, that they also worked in the first movie. This was basically a reverse of the first movie.
No. It was love that defeated him in the first movie, and even still,
boils down to the same thing.
Not just that. Okay, I get it. But in the first movie, also he didn't have like a pre-mortem line because he was the great animal, so he didn't have like one phrase to say before he died. But here, he dies also so anticlimactically.
yeah.
Just poof, it's gone.
Not only that, but I recall we at least had a good enough fight scene with Derek, and I think Derek was the one who fired the last shot.
No, remember, Jova, the whole thing is that Derek finds the bow, but he doesn't have arrows, but he has his best friend doing the whole tactic of also throwing the arrow at him, he catches, and then throws back.
Exactly, yeah.
Good, actual good reincorporation. Narrative-wise, it's surprisingly decent.
And mind you, it was Lord Rogers who taught him that move. You know, back when Lord Rogers had more of a point. And now, watch as she revives him with a song.
Oh.
Well, don't you see, guys? Now it's Odette's turn to revive Derek.
Is it? So basically, that's what you're telling me. Every single thing in this franchise is not just revived; it's a corpse, a zombie that is being necromantically resurrected here. A papel to parade.
She's literally doing it by singing too. With the Christmas
Pedro,
magic.
Is it a good moment to bust up the Ave Satani song?
Well, usually I do that gag with characters who are deceptively evil.
No, Pedro. Ave Santi, that's the good song.
No, Job, I was referring to the one that Pedro...
Oh wait, never mind. That's Ave Maria I'm thinking of.
Is that...
That's not deserve Ave Maria.
Is that the song that was in the Hitman games?
Yes, the Schubert's Ave Maria, the one also popularized also by Fantasia.
Aww, and the thing he wakes up to is Odette's smiling face. Welcome to hell.
Wait, is there changed colors?
Oh my god, he's like Rapunzel? I don't get it.
I wish I was watching Tangled the series.
So there you go, guys.
That's pretty much the sentiment. Again, I want to reiterate, there's actually nothing wrong in expanding the lore or the establishment of the franchise, but do it with fucking care.
That's the thing too. Richard Rich doesn't seem to care much, even that sucks.
Yay!
Because he's the
Christmas tree is
thing.
back!
And that's the thing, it feels a waste as a result. So he just fucks off the cat.
Don't worry, that's not the last we've heard of him.
Wait, he becomes recurring?
Don't worry. It gets worse. Believe it or not, it gets even worse after this.
Basically, too, we will not see number 9 for about 2 films. He'll be back afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, don't you feel hip with this, guys? Come on.
Of course. Wow. There you go, guys. We fit in as many songs as we could.
What time am I even into?
Okay.
Can I, if I alter the answer successful, can I leap now, Al, please?
No.
Oh, damn it.
You have to wait till the end, like everyone else.
I wish I was watching Quantum Leap instead.
Yes, by all means, pad this out more.
Actually, we're already done with the good time jet lag. You're not allowed.
Ass, I'm waiting. Jesus Christ!
Lifting up a bottle is hard work.
Because I need to reach the theatrical length, sort of.
Wow.
What happened, Richard? Was the movie 10 seconds too short, so you had to have him go as slow as possible?
That's how it ends. Here's an idea. How about including a fucking epilogue?
Maybe we'll get that in an after credits scene.
There you go. Brian Nissen wrote this. Oh, never mind. Screenplay by Brian Nissen.
So I guess there's an after credits scene, Joe?
What?
So Yuri was uncredited, apparently?
I don't know, honestly.
And there you go, that's her pseudonym, Ellie Dietz.
Yeah. Little did she know the internet would exist and allow us to know that it was really her.
Yeah, they really didn't even want it to be credited properly for this film.
Well, actually, that's the thing, Joe. She was at this point. She was actually putting her name on every on every project. Even I think even Tales of Christmas F had L Deeds instead of Laura Bailey. So it was the thing that she did put in everything. Apparently, she didn't want to be recognized. I guess I don't know.
Maybe she was
So-
shy at the time.
Eventually, got to a point where she could do nothing.
So
about
I
it.
guess Odette and Derek will be invited to join the Sinister Six.
No.
It's funny you mentioned that, Tio.
Okay,
I mean,
so
Sony franchise and all.
Can I go first with my
Go
final
on.
thoughts? Sucks. I mean, what is there? There's no pace. There's no story. There's no nothing. Really.
There's bickering.
You got no pace, you
Yeah,
got
but-
no story, you got no nothing. Unless you're planning to do this for the cinematic universe tying into Spider-Man somehow, leave me the fudge out of this.
If he says funny to say that's over because Sony.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Overall, this film is just a complete barrel of nothing, and it will now forever be tied to my YouTube account.
Don't you feel so proud?
Congratulations! At least the musical's
It
good.
truly is a Christmas miracle.
Merry Christmas, Dwibs! Merry Christmas!
'Tis the season to be bah humbug.
Yeah, wonderful. So, yeah. Next.
Sure.
Shira, you wanna go next? Because I'm guessing you don't have that much to say.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I agree. It's a whole lot of nothing. I don't count bickering as anything other than soap opera, British soap opera nonsense. And the actual plot, quote unquote, was mostly non-existent. This was mostly just a giant X Factor, and it's just so boring.
So hold on.
What exactly is
Shiro,
the
you're
deal with
telling
X
me-
Factor?
Hmm?
What is the deal with X Factor?
It's
It's a
popular,
TV
though.
talent show.
Let's
Yeah.
just say, Joe.
Joe,
it's,
have you seen Sing?
Yes.
It's that.
yeah, it's basically that.
You've seen Pop Idol, right, Joe?
What a weird name to give a pop idol show, X
No,
Factor.
no, that's the thing, Joe. It's not just for singing; it's for talents in general.
Oh, I get that, but when I think X Factor, I think like one of those like
now
high
you bust
octane
out
shows.
actually properly appropriate music. What happened?
Eh?
No, I was noticing now. This seems to be music that's more appropriate to the movie.
Yeah, it
What
was in
happened?
there.
Well, that's
Because
the thing. The music isn't appropriate to the movie, and like, a lot of what is in the movie isn't appropriate to the movie. I don't understand what they were trying to
There
do.
you go. Where's the original song? Hard Gear Ranger Sing.
And yet,
God
now we're
rest you,
hearing
Merry
Orphan and
Gentlemen.
Joy to the World.
Definitely.
Wow, they really got almost every Christmas
Away
song
in the
they could.
Manger.
12 Days of
So
Christmas, Oh Christmas Tree, Silent Night. Jesus, they really got the whole roster.
Pretty
And
much.
then Yes,
so Shiro,
Pedro?
so Shiro, you're trying to tell me that Fairy Prince Seraph was a British soap opera?
So is that what this
Yes.
movie was in the long term? A Christmas British soap opera?
Apparently.
Just what
Well,
this franchise needed.
Yeah, what a weird
Yes,
revival.
all British accents.
Continue,
But
Shirai.
no, the animation wasn't, considering this was the first attempt for this series for 3D animation, that it actually isn't all that terrible. I mean, I'm not offended by it. The syncing is whack, though.
Oh yeah, the lip syncing.
Not just the lip syncing, the sound syncing in general. Remember those two poofs when the sounds were not at all in sync. They didn't even try.
Also, Jovan, no post-credit scene, so I don't know what you were
Alas.
talking about.
Yeah,
Also, the
it seems I misremembered.
also the effects of having, people's footprints in the snow just isn't very great.
Oh, let's not forget, Shirai, that scene where John Bob literally gets implanted into the snow but doesn't leave any silhouette whatsoever.
Not just that, there's also that scene with the cat during the chase sequence
Yeah,
with the
at the
ski and the
beginning.
snowboard, where he gets pummeled by snow, but there's nobody. He gets covered with, looks horrible.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this movie was just a mess. And yeah.
And that's
Also,
it, basically.
Yeah.
I guess you can't automatically like it because it mistreats cats, I suppose.
It's like any sense of this film series being guilty pleasures that the original trilogy may have given pretty much was thrown out the window and shattered with this movie.
Pretty much. Anyway,
That is,
who's next?
but that begs the question, though, Shiroi. How many
Yes.
cats does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Who's next?
Please be free to
Pedro?
experiment with Valentine.
That's not a number.
All right, I'll go next then. Yeah, this is just I don't know what Rich idea was for actually reviving this series, but this is clearly not. Again, like I said, the main problem stems from combining the idea of a revival with a Christmas special. Again, these two things do not come together by their own nature. And like I said multiple times, I have absolutely nothing against these franchise expanding its own lore. Again, Tango proved successfully that you can do that.
And the Big Hero 6 cartoon as well.
I think I haven't seen anything aside from the pilot that you showed me. But again, since Tango also is the one that has a similar setting to this, again, there is great potential that you can expand from this. I'm totally down with it. But you chose the worst possible way. You recycle the villain. You waste pointless fan service moments, particularly near the end, as you also noticed. The plot itself is very basic, as it is, and the lore that you expand is baffling to say the least. I can understand. These people celebrating Christmas, but no, they went all through and pretty much said, yeah, we're celebrating the religious type of Christmas, the Christianity one. I guess Jesus was a thing in this continuity. Good to know, I suppose. So we're basically now knowing retroactively, remember, retroactive continuity works here too, that in this universe where magic clearly exists in all shapes and sizes, that Jesus was a thing. Interesting way how the two things collide.
So is Jesus a magician who also made the
I mentioned this a couple of times, but remember, Harry Potter also briefly mentions that in Deathly Hallows, the book. So
Jesus was a wizard.
yes,
Since we recently did small one, I had to ask: did God plan all of this way too?
That Richard Rich would eventually lose his mind.
Probably doing a drunk night after losing a poker game against Buddha. Probably.
I guess.
Yeah.
Like, between Don Bluth and Richard Rich, at least Don Bluth can look back on work after the 90s and not be filled with regret. Though, granted, from what I hear, Richard Rich is proud of his stuff.
Hey, but one thing I was surprised to learn is that he was the director of the animation for a Scissor Sisters music video. So
yeah, he was.
But anyway, the characters are just completely horribly treated.
Except for Bridget, who actually gets to be the smart one.
I guess, but even then, even the minor one that return, like the Chamberlain, gets completely fucked up. Oh, now his whole character is not that he's in love with Bridget. That's it. Remember, again, put things in perspective. Remember how even the hour sequels of the previous trilogy, his role was of supporting of the Queen and sometimes be annoying, but it was there. Now instead he has been reduced to a practical joke and nothing more. And let's not even talk about Derek and all that. Aside even from the miscasting of voice acting with Ellie Dietz, as Odette, as Demon Odette, mind you. They barely do anything. Derek does the most, but he's incompetent in all the things. The movie can't decide if Derek is super effective or not effective at all. Sometimes he feels spectacular, other times he's like Batman and has like 30 gambits ready to be activated.
I know, right?
Odette is just pointless. I guess, you know what? I guess this is a good example that people can look at and to see how female characters should not be treated in this kind of movie.
But don't you see, Tio? She saves the day in the end with her singing. Oh my god, this is terrible.
Not even that. Again, the whole even the whole subtext about like the orphanage at the beginning. You're telling me that they completely ignored it up until now, and they had those poor kids rotting. Did I remind you that in universe a lot of time has passed since the end of the first movie, where Derek and Odette basically became the de facto new rulers. So
Not only
Jesus
that,
Christ.
but
Even again, I have to stress it again for comparison. The Tangle the series went above and beyond in order to pretty much fill every nook and cranny of Corona and beyond that, in order to make the world alive, full, rich, with everything, with a gajillion different story arcs intertwining together, meshing together. Even when not showing you have an idea what the same character would have been done. This is not even trying. Uh, I again, even if I like the first movie as a guilty pleasure, this is just an embarrassing family reunion, which I guess fits for Christmas. So mission accomplished on that. Next,
so yeah, like I said, Odette technically is the hero because she says everyone was singing. Mind you, Shrek the Third. Oh yeah, I'm going there. Shrek the Third took the piss out of the whole Princess Saves the Day was singing thing. So you realize that this movie is now literally taking seriously what Shrek the Third of all things.
Shrek the Third
made.
is a higher moral ground.
And Shrek the Third was a terrible movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
Shrek the Third is widely agreed to be the worst of the Shrek movies, and yet that one handled this concept better than this movie did.
Wow.
Like, okay, I'll say it right now. The soundtrack is a guilty pleasure for me. Like, I actually do enjoy the instrumental music for the most part, mind you. There are some lazy bits here and there, but I do enjoy the instrumental music. And I do like most of the song covers, except for maybe one that's just dull and uninspired. For the most part, I do actually appreciate it, even if a lot of it is just them taking the best Christmas hits album here and remixing it, but I digress. They technically run with them straight here and there. As for everything else, you know, to quote the first Swan Princess movie, what else is there? Like, I mean, seriously, when you get down to it, this movie is beauty! No, it's not! It's not even beauty, really. It's ugly. It's ugly. Like, it's badly rendered at times, lazily animated at other times. I mind you, digitally animated, so it's that kind of laziness where sometimes they literally have to. Well, okay, it's maybe not as bad as Alpha and Omega Free, where it's like they're purposely messing stuff up here, but they're incredibly lazy.
So what you're saying, Jova, is this movie is nothing that you've ever wanted. It's ugly.
And as for the plot here, well, for the most of the time, the plot is just random hijinks and bickering.
But Jova, is logical plot all that matters to you?
Wow, oh, don't you see? They're trying to subvert our expectations for a logical plot here. See, because that would be too easy. No, instead, they thought outside the box and gave us... Can I even call it slice of life stuff? I guess slice of life stuff.
This is the kind of thing that gives slice of life fiction a bad name. That's why I hate it.
Exactly. Like, and here's the problem here. It's a movie that's trying to, you know, for a movie where little happens, it seems like it's juggling a lot of subplots here between Derek hunting down a cat, Derek trying to handle Rothbard for most of the movie, the whole townsfolk fighting, and then off-screen, apparently mending relationships, whether or not the spell was broken or whatnot. And, Uberta and Rogers are still at it. And let's not forget how Rogers creates freaking electricity in this time frame or date with little to no reasoning as to how that light bulb even works, because it is not hooked up by wiring or anything and doesn't have anything that suggests that it could receive an electromagnetic signal wirelessly either.
And if you think that's too much, wait till you see the 7th movie.
Oh, believe it or not, Gio, this movie is tame compared to the sequels after it.
Joyful.
But yeah, again, the hits just keep coming and they don't stop coming. Like, again, Rothbart in this is a weird case. He starts off being just a voice. Then when he comes back, he is a villain who would be effective if he weren't stopped by Christmas joy and literally Christmas jingling bells. Whistling bells, mind you. So, yeah, Derek actually gets to be smart by putting up that stuff. And I'll give him credit here. He and Bridget apparently made this master gambit of a plan to trick Rothbart into believing that Bridget would just turn so easily for him, only to trap him. Surprisingly effective. It's a shame he gets undone because of his evil magic electricity.
And a cat.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. The major characters' big plans that would otherwise be effective get undone so idiotically that it's kind of a spectacle to watch. It's like seeing if Batman actually went with his plan, but then it failed because, oh, this one thing was like a quarter meter off, and boom, mission failed. Or it's like if Green Lantern were defeated by wood. Oh, wait. That actually did happen. That was stupid. Anyway, though,
Was that in the movie?
well, basically, it was the first ever Green Lantern's weakness wasn't the color yellow, but was wood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's really not much plot to speak of here. The final climax is, like I said, fan service avenue, but then it gets treated so stupidly. Like Tio said, say what you will about the first movie, but at the very least, it built up properly to that fight scene, and there was a lot more nuance and stuff there, and it could actually get people who cared enough to care. Here, it is as corny and one-note and, okay, maybe not cliche, but it's not cliche only because a lot of movies by this time frame knew that this kind of stuff was old, tired, and just stupid. Odette turns out to be the savior, literally by singing. And out of nowhere, that destroys Rothbart, who goes out in such a pathetic way. And then, plot over, problem solved. Odette singing manages to cure everything, I guess, that Rothbart did, even though it doesn't show them curing the people. But hey, I guess we're to believe that the magic to cure themselves was in them all along, since apparently they got fine with it as well in that earlier scene.
God bless us, everybody.
Pretty much. So at the end of the day, what did we learn today, children?
I learned that Christmas can destroy evil.
I learned that
I
apparently.
learned.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Yes, Tio?
I learned that one cat can place a correctly electric bulb.
I learned that Yuri Lowenthal cannot write a story to save his life.
I learned that apparently destroying Christmas brings the evil back from the dead, literally to life and more powerful than ever. Hey, screw being a Jedi ghost, destroying Christmas is where it's at, baby!
You know, that'd be a great plot for a Star Wars Holiday Special 2, Destroy Christmas.
Oh, don't
Darth
you mean
Vader
life?
Darth Vader comes back as a ghost, and he's all like, "No, I must destroy
Yeah, he's like,
Christmas."
yeah, but
Yeah,
Lord
except
Vader,
when
weren't
he's
you
hiding Kristen.
yeah, I was just gonna say, Lord Vader, weren't you redeemed at the end of Return of the? I was gonna say, Lord Vader, weren't you redeemed at Return of the Jedi?
I'm
Why are you trying to destroy Christmas?
I'm altering the story. Pray do
I
not
won't
alter it any
anymore.
further.
You know, that's the best thing this movie has given us here. The imagining of a Star Wars Holiday Special 2.
But Jova, there already is a Star Wars Holiday Special.
No, I said Holiday Special 2.
Oh.
Electric Boogaloo.
Okay, that's it for my final thoughts. This movie is crap, but the soundtrack... I can't believe I'm saying this. The soundtrack is pretty good. In fact, quite possibly the best that a Swan Princess soundtrack has been. God, I nearly choked saying that.
Pedro.
Okay. Yeah, basically, this from what I'm seeing here, it seems it really is an Edward, not so much an Edward Norton type of situation, but I'm starting to everywhere Yuri Lowenthal is credited for writing this movie, except in the movie itself. I'm starting to believe that Yuri Lowenthal asked for his name to be removed from the writing credits.
Oh, wait, me? Wait,
Well, with
wait,
a
let me
script
guess,
this
let me
bad,
guess.
I can't blame him.
Let me guess. By the time this movie was about to release, the madness finally cleared from his mind, and he said,
Yeah, from
"My
what I'm seeing
God,
here-
Laura Bailey, what have I done?"
From what I'm seeing here, Dwebs, both Richard Rich and Brian Nissen, who was the screenwriter of the original trilogy, co-wrote the story, and then Yuri wrote the screenplay. However, it seems like they decided to have Brian Nissen either take the credit or rewrite Yuri's original script. One of the two.
Maybe.
So he was ashamed enough to have his name taken off, but not ashamed to quit the Swan Princess franchise.
I guess work was slow at the time.
Bills.
Uh,
Gotta pay those bills along with mine and number 9.
Exactly. Anyway, yeah. As for the movie itself, it's garbage. I'm so glad Laura Bailey is no longer playing this character, because now it's another actress named Nina Ayers. I can't pronounce her name. It's similar to. It sounds like kind of hedgehog, like Nina Herzog or something like that. She has a weird last name.
Don't worry,
The point
Pedro. We
is-
still have a few more movies with Laura Bailey in it.
That's the thing, though. Laura Bailey. Okay, taking aside from the fact that Laura Bailey does not give a shit in this
Yeah.
movie, even if she did, she's horribly miscast as Odette. She sounds nothing like Michelle Nicastro, and that's not a problem with Laura, because Laura is not really an actress who does imitations. That's not at all what she does. There are if you wanted to if you wanted to hire a voice actress, hire Tara Strong. Tara Strong is really good with imitations.
I'll say. I mean, heck, she does an imitation for freaking Harley Quinn, played by Arlene Sorkin. It's like, well,
Exactly.
it's like, okay, I get that Laura Bailey was like a last-minute replacement for the actress who died, but why did you bring her back for the other sequels? Because I will tell you right now, she doesn't really get any better in the sequels.
No, it's abundantly clear that she was focused on stuff like Tales of Graces, Fire Emblem, and other stuff, and this was just a side thing that she to pay for her next car or something. It's okay. She's horribly miscast. Cast Tara Strong. Tara Strong would be a much better choice. She would be able to really do a really good impression of Michelle Nicastro's voice. But anyway,
I mean, Tara Strong is like one of the go-to VAs for this sort of stuff.
Exactly. Again, demonstrating that Richard Rich that has no idea what the fuck he's doing. Disney, but for crying out loud, get this man working under you again, because it seems like this guy can only do good within you.
I guess.
Anyway, yeah. The movie is garbage. There's no plot. The villain is the most ineffectual, quite possibly the most ineffectual villain in the history of villainy. And there's lightsabers.
Yeah, there's literally a Star Wars scene.
This movie does, like I said, if this movie did not put any kind of effort into itself, therefore I will follow suit and not put any more effort into my final thoughts.
You know what I realized? This movie feels like it's trying to be an Aladdin movie. Like, you know, of course, the pop cultural references here and there. You have mystical elements in there. It feels like an Aladdin movie trapped in a Swan Princess skin.
And that was the Swan Princess Christmas. Eventually we will do Swan Princess Royal Family.
Alright, Dweebs, since you clearly had a bad direction in driving this old stupid sleigh thing, let me put in the coordinates of our next destination in the GPS. There we go. Beep boop. There you go. We should be reaching Gotham City tomorrow.
Ooh, a
Gotham
Gotham
City.
City Christmas, my favorite.
Yes.
Theo,
I
you
heard that
fool.
the Shrek guy is organizing a party, so why
Theo,
not?
Theo, you fool. We're gonna get shot down the moment we get into its airspace.
Please,
Don't worry,
we'll
Dweebs.
be
This is
fine.
This is a continuity where Superman doesn't exist, so we should be
Alright,
fine.
alright, I'll
Looking
go.
forward
See you
to see what the Christmas
Alright, I'll
lights
go.
look like there.
I'll go
See
wake
you-
up. I'll go wake up the reindeer.
But Tio,
See
wait,
you tomorrow for Batman Returns, everyone.
wait, Tio. If Superman doesn't exist, why does George Clooney say this is why Superman works alone?
Damn it. See ya.
See you next time, folks.
Ja.